I would like to talk to you today about something that I find really interesting, and that is about the body's capacity to remember the instructions you give it. If you give it to the body or to the mind, I find them to work pretty similar, but you have to repeat the instructions over and over and over and over again. But once it's there, it's almost as it's hard to unlearn it, and you don't remember how you are doing it. If you break it down slowly, you don't really know exactly how you're doing it, but you're doing it. You just do it, and it flows effortlessly. And the only way you can tell somebody else how to do it is to actually break it down to really slow pieces and think about everything you're doing. And I will show you an example with my guitar here. I learned to play guitar as a kid, and I can't really unlearn it. It's like it's always there. It's like in my nature, it's my muscle memory, it's in my mind. It's a habit pattern. If we think about it, the things we are so good at that it's really in just our muscle memories. We can do it in our sleep. We're doing it unawarely, that we don't really know how we are doing it and how it's happening. We just do it. It's like I can sit and play, and somebody, what's that song? What did I play? I'm not even aware. Like, how did I do it? I don't know. So I will show you on a song here, and I will speed it up really fast. And if you look at my fingers, you will see that it's impossible for me. It would be impossible for me to think about every move. I just do it. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I will show you on the guitar. Isn't that amazing? Not the song, everybody can learn to do that. But the fact that we can, it's brilliant. Thank you, by the way. Well, for me it's kind of obvious that I have no idea what I'm doing there. Like, it's so interesting. And the mind works pretty much the same way. It's like driving a car. First, I had to think about every move, everything's going on in traffic, every time I switch to gear, every time I do that and that. And now, I don't even think about it. I just drive. You see people around you, all the people had the same issues first time they drove their car, but now they're talking on the phone, they do things, they scroll Facebook at the same time as they're driving. It's like insane. You wouldn't do that the first time because you have to think about everything. Imagine what we can learn. I bet we can repeat the same instructions over and over and over and over again, and the body or the mind will believe it to be truth, and we can do that. We can learn it. Isn't that ever good? I wonder what I want to learn today. For me, that's always been like the beauty with the guitar. I can leave the guitar for like a year and pick it up again, and all I had to do is like get my fingers used to it and I can play again. It's like what they call, it's like riding a bike. Once you learn it, it's pretty hard to unlearn it. Remember as a kid when you first learned how to read and write, it took you hours and hours and hours, days and days and days, weeks and weeks and months and months. And now try to not read a sentence when you see it. It's freaking impossible. You programmed your mind to read everything that you see. Look at something in big bold letters and not read it. It's like, I don't know how to do that. It's always there in your background, like you read it. Even if you are so unaware that you actually don't think you read it, then 30 minutes later, all of a sudden, that thing you saw written on the wall pops up in your mind. You're reading it. It's literally impossible to be aware and to not read. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I haven't found out a good way to see something in big bold letters and not read it. But that's not the point. The point is, I don't know how to unlearn it. And the body works pretty much in the same way. Like, you learn something, the only thing is the body is forever changing. Imagine what we can learn. And it's so scary in the beginning, it's so hard in the beginning, but repetition, and all of a sudden it's in your nature and you cannot unlearn. Talking to strangers, it's only scary in the beginning. Once it's in your nature, it's not hard anymore. I will show you one thing more. For me, now that is so easy. I can do it 100 times like. But the muscles get tired. And if you don't do it for some time, it's like I know how to do it. My muscle memory knows how to do it. But the body needs to catch up. Like, so that's why fitness is such a hard thing to maintain. Some things are harder, like guitar is also fitness. You need to have muscles here, but it's so little that if I don't play for 6 months, I can still play just as good. It's just that it's a little bit harder for everything, like, you know, maybe a little bit clumsy in my hands, but still. But if I don't do the pike press up handstand for 6 months, I probably wouldn't be able to do it, but my body remembers. I just need to do it over and over again to develop the strength and like. And you constantly hear people say like, how do you do that? I wish I could never do that. Like, for me it's been a big mind-opening thing to know that nothing is more out of reach for me than it is for somebody else. We all just choose what we will pay the hours to learn, what we will spend our time to learn, and through repetition, that's basically how we learn. But it's no fun to repeat everything. Well, if it is fun to repeat it. If it's fun for me to do something one time, I can see how it couldn't be fun to do it 2 times. And if that makes me learn, because learning is so much more fun than to just stay the same. If you say, yeah, but I don't want to spend that much time doing that just to learn it, then it's not what you're gonna do. And by learning, you kind of feed the desire to learn more. And it creates a belief that, oh, I could learn that. If I can learn that, what can I learn more? And it creates more action. And that action creates even more desire to learn even more. And that desire creates even more faith because, oh man, I'm invincible. And that faith creates even more action. I want to do even more action, more desire, more belief about yourself, more action. And you get better. It's a fantastic circle. Constantly evolving. Nothing stays the same. The question is, do we want to get better or worse? It's rarely that we stay the exact same. That is fascinating, and the mind even more so. And the mind, it's even more brilliant because that works in the same way. Public speaking is learned through repetition, and when it's a habit, it's not scary anymore. Talking to strangers is only scary if you're not used to it, and if you make up in your mind that it's scary, but everything that it's a habit, that's in your nature. We don't know how we do it, we just do it. It's a good thing to just pull the brake every now and then and think, oh man, I'm doing this. It's so amazing that I can do this. Sometimes we don't even remember that we couldn't do it 10 years ago or something like that. It fascinates me. Habits. Playing guitar, being good at something, it's a freaking habit. Self-confidence is not a part of your personality. It's a habit. It's a learned habit, and it's a skill. It's a skill to be good. That's why you do it over and over and over and over and over again until it's in your nature. I'm gonna take this inspiration that I got, whatever you might call it, see what I can learn today through repetition. Not only physically. For me, it's always been so much easier to learn something physically than mentally. Because mentally, it's scary. It's scary. You need to just go for it before you start to hesitate. Go for it. Physically, I can do it while nobody's watching or whatever. It doesn't matter for me if people are watching, but I don't need to go out of my comfort zone that much to actually practice 8 hours a day doing pull-ups. It's just that I have to do it. I have to actually do it. But nobody else is involved. That's why fitness always has been so easy for me. And everything when it comes to the body, it's when the mental things that you have to interact with people, that's of course scarier. Thank you for letting me speak my mind. Hope you got something of value out of this video. Go out and learn something so badly that you cannot unlearn it. Have a good day. Love you.
I'm the king of the sand, of the old